Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Literary Aesthetics. Today, we're diving into the dark, stormy heart of Emily Brontë's Wuthering Heights. Emily Brontë's Wuthering Heights is divided into 2 volumes, each containing 17 chapters, making a total of 34 chapters in the novel. On Literary Aesthetics, we have already discussed the detailed summaries and analyses of all the individual chapters of Volume 1. This video, therefore, brings everything together and presents the summary of Volume 1 as a whole, allowing us to see the broader emotional and narrative arc that shapes the foundation of the novel. The story begins with Mr. Lockwood, a reserved gentleman from the city, who rents Thrushcross Grange and pays a visit to his landlord, Heathcliff, at Wuthering Heights. From the very first encounter, Lockwood senses something deeply unsettling about the place: the harsh environment, the tense relationships, and Heathcliff's cold, hostile nature. After a disturbing night at Wuthering Heights, marked by strange dreams and the ghostly presence of Catherine Earnshaw, Lockwood falls ill and asks the housekeeper, Nellie Dean, to narrate the history of the household. From this point onward, the novel shifts into a long flashback, forming the heart of Volume 1. Nellie recounts how years earlier, Mr. Earnshaw, the former master of Wuthering Heights, brought home an orphan boy from Liverpool and named him Heathcliff. Though initially disliked by the family, Heathcliff soon becomes Mr. Earnshaw's favorite, which deeply angers his son Hindley. Growing up together, Heathcliff and Catherine Earnshaw form an intense and almost inseparable bond, rooted in shared wildness and emotional dependence. Their connection is instinctive and elemental, suggesting a love that goes beyond ordinary affection. After Mr. Earnshaw's death, Hindley returns as the new master of Wuthering Heights and subjects Heathcliff to relentless cruelty. Heathcliff is stripped of education, reduced to a servant, and treated with open contempt. This abuse shapes Heathcliff's character, transforming his quiet endurance into suppressed rage and laying the foundation for the revenge that dominates the later part of the novel. Meanwhile, Catherine remains torn between her loyalty to Heathcliff and her growing awareness of social class. A turning point occurs when Catherine is injured and spends time at Thrushcross Grange, the home of the refined and gentle Linton family. During her stay, she is exposed to comfort, wealth, and social polish, and she returns changed, less wild, more conscious of status and appearance. This transformation creates a widening gap between Catherine and Heathcliff, as society begins to dictate her choices more strongly than her emotions. Catherine eventually confesses to Nellie that although she loves Heathcliff deeply and believes they are essentially the same soul, she cannot marry him because of his low social position. Instead, she chooses Edgar Linton, believing the marriage will bring her comfort and respectability. Tragically, Heathcliff overhears only the part of her confession that speaks of his unworthiness and leaves Wuthering Heights in despair. His departure marks a crucial emotional rupture in the narrative. Catherine marries Edgar Linton and settles at Thrushcross Grange, where life appears calm on the surface but remains emotionally unfulfilled. After several years, Heathcliff returns unexpectedly, now wealthy and emotionally hardened. His return disrupts the fragile peace, as he begins to take revenge on those who wronged him, particularly Hindley, and manipulates relationships to satisfy his bitterness. The unresolved passion between Catherine and Heathcliff resurfaces, but it is now destructive rather than liberating. Caught between her husband Edgar and her deep, unresolved bond with Heathcliff, Catherine's mental and physical health deteriorates. Her inner conflict, emotional isolation, and inability to reconcile love with social expectations drive her into illness. Volume 1 reaches its tragic climax with Catherine's death shortly after giving birth to her daughter, Cathy. Her death represents the collapse of the emotional world that sustained Heathcliff and solidifies his transformation into a figure driven entirely by grief and vengeance. Volume 1 ends on a note of profound loss and unresolved tension. Heathcliff is left haunted by Catherine's absence, Edgar is emotionally broken, Hindley is ruined, and a new generation is born into an inheritance of suffering. This volume establishes the central themes of destructive love, social conflict, and emotional obsession, setting the stage for Volume 2, where the consequences of these passions unfold through the next generation. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for the next video, where we'll cover Volume 2, summarizing all the chapters and highlighting the most important events, themes, and critical points of this unforgettable story.